So I'm coming to you live on a Friday night from Moriarty, New Mexico. So I wanted to jump on tonight and impart some knowledge on you, some stuff I picked up from a book I'm reading called The Slight Edge. Now, I titled this little video, Do You Know What the Success Curve Is? The success, I don't know if I'm still there. Am I still here? I guess. The success curve actually is a concept that I've learned about from the book A Slight Edge. Now, people always talk about uh, life balance, being on a plane. Now, according to the Slight Edge, the success curve is basically you've got your straight path. So you can see that straight path, and then you've got success is up. Up is success. And then below it is no success or hard times, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to use some visual aids tonight. See that? I don't have a whiteboard. This seems to look like it might work okay. So, and then the middle one is basically, let's say that's comfort zone. That's where most people like to be. They have a job. They're an employee. So they get paid every 2 weeks. They get paid money for time. They probably have a home, modest home, family, kids. They work 40 hours a week, and then on the weekends they watch football or they go fishing or hunting. They have some leisure activities. They're usually in a lot of debt, but they're comfortable. They're very happy, and a lot of people are okay there. And that's not a bad place to be if that's where you want to be. Now, in the slight edge, we talk about your success curve. I believe it's kind of like you've got comfort, and you have the upward one is success, lower one is no success, it's bad things happen. We all start off on an upward curve if you think about it. Birth, the fact that you were born means you were a 1 in a 400 million shot that you even exist. So, boom. See, I got birth right there. You already start up with an upward spiral. And then you get to a certain age, let's say school age. School age, and you start dealing with uh, friends or lack of friends, public education, all this stuff. So you could either be, you could be both. You could go up in your success, or you could go down and start having a hard time. So I got school, you can go up or you can go down with school. I think we all have a little both because school, kindergarten is scary, then you get used to it, primary school. Move on to middle school where when you start to mature, so we could actually do that too. Maturity causes some more problems. And there again, you can go up and you can go down or more one or the other. Because when you mature, some people mature early and I was a small kid. I don't know if I was a late bloomer. I didn't weigh 100 pounds until almost high school. I was like 60, 70, 80 pounds in seventh grade. Um, very uncomfortable. Had a very competitive sibling that was a star athlete, ladies' man. Everybody expected me to be like him. So that causes a lot of issues. I think that causes it can either take you up into success or it can take you down. But you see, you're never going to be in the middle, like people always say. I think you're constantly either up or down. Some things are up all the time, and some things are down all the time. Like for me, health is a big issue. Put health in here. Now, your health zone, if you're in perfect health your whole life, you're, constantly going up. But every time you have a little incident, you break an arm, you break a leg, you're going to drop. For me, I was, on the upswing most of my life. I was very athletic as a kid, very active because I grew up in the 70s. Went in the military, competitively power lifted, competitively arm wrestled, had aspiration of going to the world championships in Vegas. Actually broke my arm wrestling when I got cocky and arrogant. Um, I think top of my game, 26 years old, best shape of my life, bench pressing 2.5 times my body weight. And then a year later, 130 pounds, could barely tie my shoes. I got struck down with rheumatoid arthritis when I was about 25. It put me out of the military. It killed my dream. Well, not right away. I mean, it took me a while to get back in shape, but my dream was I wanted to get in law enforcement. It took, I was probably back when I went home in 1990. I was there for 6 years before I moved to the Southwest. But anyway, I don't want to go on off on my bio, but that health incident put me on a really bad downward curve for health, where I stayed for a long time, probably 10 to 15 years, until I slowly improved and moved to the Southwest. And then I have a bio, but I'm not going to go into my bio. I met my wife in school. I helped her raise her kids. I adopted her kids. So I think back then that would put it about 2000, or actually 1998. I My health and my mental health both went up. They're both down because of my chronic illness. So as for a success, for my health and mental health, I was a success. And then we bought a house together. So we did go down. We had stress of looking at a home, trying to find a home, and then find a job. We were on a downward slope, and then planning our wedding. And then once we did all those things, we went back up. We built a house. We both found jobs. I got my dream job of working for the district attorney's office in the criminal division. My wife ended up with a private attorney. But we both had gone to school to become paralegals, and then we got paralegal jobs basically, and we're both still at those jobs. Both over 21 years now, but the glamour has worn off, and it has enabled us to support our three kids. My three kids are all adults, have their own families now, but now we're at the tail end where financially, you're up and down all the time financially. My diagram is kind of crap right now, but I can actually I think you can get the picture of it by now. So our financial success hasn't been like, you know, millionaires and stuff like that. We've had some small successes as our kids grew and left home. We had more money in our pocket because we didn't have to take care of them. We got to the point of being empty nesters probably 5 years ago. I'm 56. No, probably no, it'd be longer than that. Probably when I was 40, probably about 48 before my leg incident. Yeah, my son. who lived with us till he was 30, moved out. My daughter moved out. My younger son moved out. Yeah, because he moved out in like 2015. So our financial success increased upward after becoming empty nesters, and we also paid off all kinds of debt, credit cards. So we actually splurged. We became empty nesters. We went out. We bought an RV. We bought a side by side dune buggy. We bought uh, F-250 to pull it. And we figured, hell, if we're going to pay the same amount that we were paying on stupid credit cards, at least we can pay on these toys and we can play. So that's where it went. And then it was all good until, the life tends to come back and hit you again. And that didn't happen till now. I mean, we had a lot of good, we were on an upward swing most from like 2015, 2016. Upward swing on health. Actually, that started in 17. On wealth, we're doing good. My wife gets bonuses. And then probably, last year and then 2020, like everybody else, everything came crashing down. I mean, between 2016 and 2020, I mean, we were doing a lot of traveling, a lot of trips. Um, my daughter had her kids, I had two granddaughters. Then I had another one. My younger son had one. My older son has has an adoptive son, two sons that are like step. Um, and now number seven is on the way. But because of the world, what's going on right now, I mean, we're not really in a downward swing. I would say not financial. Well, a little bit. I mean, the bonuses have dried up for my wife. Um, I work for the state, so I don't make anything. But health-wise, I'd say, okay, this is my success curve. So my health is up. My wealth, even though I'm creating businesses on the side and getting a little money, it's up a little bit, but it's kind of down also. Health, wealth, mental. Mental thing is up and down constantly. It's up and down. It's kind of like a stock market thing. That's just because of what's going on in the world. So basically, bottom line of my ranting here is telling you about the success curve is nobody's on a straight line. You can be here in some things, you can be up in some things, and you can be down in some things. And all this is going on at the same time because the universe is not just one thing. If we were happy all the time, we would never know what sadness is about. And we'd never know growth because you can't grow unless you fail. And failure is also considered like unhappiness, all that. They always say success can be found on the other side of failure. So that's my talk. I hope you got some value out of this. If you would like to dive into it, I recommend the book, The Slight Edge. Let me pull up the author for you because I have it on my Kindle. I thought I had the actual hard copy because I do love to. Um, I love to read real books, but this is convenient too sometimes. So there's okay. Go to the beginning. Okay, it's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and a mentor I have that I love to follow. I'm a part of his team. He's the most successful entrepreneur in the United States, made the most money probably in the world. Recommended this book. This is off of his reading list, and it's an awesome book. It'll give you a lot of insight. Like the title says, the slight edge. It's the reason why the 1% millionaires, they're just a slight bit ahead of everybody else. And it talks about what they do to get that edge. It's like I did a post on a lumberjack contest where one guy kept going back in the woods and then he came out and he only hit his tree 3 times and went down versus the other guy who stayed there sweating, huffing, and puffing. The difference was that other guy went and sharpened his axe between each stroke. So he put iron sharpens iron. So this book is kind of like that. My thing is going here. So that's about it tonight. If you got any value, show me some love. I can't tell if there's people on here or not on this Facebook live stream stuff. So live producer. So just if you got value out of it, let me know. Send me some comments. I'm going to try to do more training stuff like this on other topics. But this is what I wanted to do tonight. So y'all have a good night, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.